Good evening. This is All India Radio. I'm Anubha Rohatgi and with me is R.S. Raghu with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi speaks to British counterpart Boris Johnson, reviews progress of India-UK Agenda 2030. Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign is not just a vision but also a well-thought, well-planned, integrated economic strategy, says the Prime Minister while launching Indian Space Association. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to participate in G20 Extraordinary Leaders Summit on Afghanistan in virtual format tomorrow. Power Ministry mandates electricity distribution companies to undertake energy accounting on periodic basis. 5 army soldiers, including a JCO, martyred in an encounter with terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir. 3 US-based economists win Economics Nobel Prize for work on natural experiments. And in IPL cricket, matches underway between Royal Challengers Bangalore and Kolkata Knight Riders at Sharjah Cricket Stadium. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is underway, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011 2397 8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today had a telephonic conversation with his British counterpart Boris Johnson. The 2 leaders reviewed the progress in bilateral relations since their virtual summit earlier this year and expressed satisfaction at the steps already initiated under the Roadmap 2030 adopted during the virtual summit. They also reviewed the progress of the enhanced trade partnership and agreed on the potential of rapidly expanding trade and investment linkages between both countries. The leaders had extensive discussion on issues related to climate change in the context of the forthcoming United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change UNFCCC COP26 meeting in Glasgow in early November this year. Mr. Modi conveyed India's commitment to climate action as seen in its ambitious target for expansion of renewable energy and the recently announced National Hydrogen Mission. The leaders also exchanged views on regional developments, especially the situation in Afghanistan. In this context, they agreed on the need to develop a common international perspective on issues regarding extremism and terrorism, as well as human rights and rights of women and minorities. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said India will have to ensure that in the 21st century, space plays an important role in uniting the world. He said that India is one of the very few countries that have end-to-end capability in space. Speaking at the launch of Indian Space Association, Mr. Modi said India has covered all aspects of space technology, space satellites, launch vehicle applications, interplanetary missions and more. The Prime Minister said major reforms happening in India today in the space sector and space tech are due to a decisive government. He said the reforms in space sector and space tech is unprecedented and the government's approach is based on 4 pillars when it comes to space reforms.
जब हम स्पेस रिफॉर्म्स की बात करते हैं तो हमारी अप्रोच 4 पिलर्स पर आधारित है। पहला, प्राइवेट सेक्टर को इनोवेशन की आजादी। दूसरा, सरकार की एनेबलर के रूप में भूमिका। तीसरा, भविष्य के लिए युवाओं को तैयार करना। और चौथा, स्पेस सेक्टर को सामान्य मानव की प्रगति के संसाधन के रूप में देखना। इन 4 पिलर्स की बुनियाद अपने आप में असाधारण संभावनाओं के द्वार खोलती है।
The Prime Minister stressed that this new outlook is important because it is not the time for linear innovation for India, but for exponential innovation. He said this can only be made possible when the government plays the role of an enabler and not a handler.
पहले स्पेस सेक्टर का मतलब ही होता था सरकार, लेकिन हमने इस माइंडसेट को बदला और फिर स्पेस सेक्टर में इनोवेशन किए। सरकार, स्टार्टअप एक दूसरे से सहयोग और स्पेस का मंत्र दिया। ये नई सोच नया मंत्र इसलिए जरूरी है क्योंकि भारत के लिए अब ये लीनियर इनोवेशन का समय नहीं है, ये समय एक्सपोनेंशियल इनोवेशन का है और ये मुमकिन तब होगा जब सरकार हैंडलर की नहीं, एनेबलर की भूमिका निभाएगी.
Mr. Modi said the country is witnessing dynamic reforms today because India's vision is clear and the vision is Atmanirbhar Bharat. He said it is not just a vision but a well-thought, well-planned, integrated economic strategy that will turn India into a global manufacturing hub and innovation center.
Ministry of Power today mandated electricity distribution companies to undertake energy accounting on periodic basis. The regulation in this regard was issued by Bureau of Energy Efficiency with the approval of Ministry of Power under the provisions of Energy Conservation Act 2001. The notification stipulates quarterly energy accounting by DISCOMs through a certified energy manager within 60 days. There will also be annual energy audit by an independent accredited energy auditor. Both these reports will be published in the public domain. Power Ministry said the initiative will further contribute towards India's climate actions in meeting the Paris Agreement goals. Ministry of Coal today organized a pre-bid conference for prospective bidders. Coal Ministry said the auction shall be held online through a transparent two-stage process on the basis of percentage revenue share. Key features of the auction process include introduction of National Coal Index, ease in participation with no restriction for prior coal mining experience, full flexibility in coal utilization, optimized payment structures, efficiency promotion through incentives for early production and use of clean coal technology. The nominated authority in the Coal Ministry had launched the second attempt of auction for 11 coal mines earmarked for the sale of coal last month.
Northeast Frontier Railway has successfully completed the electrification work of 649 route kilometre of high-density network from Katihar to Guwahati. The Railway Ministry has said that this will now connect all major cities of the country with Guwahati on seamless electric traction. Indian Railways has embarked upon an ambitious plan of electrification of its complete broad gauge network by 2023-24. This would lead to better fuel energy usage, resulting in increased throughput, reduced fuel expenditure and saving of foreign exchange. 5 army soldiers, including a JCO, were martyred in an encounter that broke out in Chamrer forest area of Surankot subdivision in Poonch sector today. PRO Defence Lieutenant Colonel Davinder Anand said that on specific inputs, the security forces cordoned off the area and a cordon and search operation was launched for a suspected infiltration bid in the forests located near Mughal Road in Poonch district. The hiding terrorists opened heavy fire on the search parties, resulting in fierce gun battle and critical injuries to a junior commissioned officer and 4 other soldiers who later succumbed to their injuries. There are reports about presence of a group of heavily armed militants in the forest after they managed to sneak from across the line of control. Reinforcements have been rushed to the area to plug all escape routes to ensure the militants are neutralized. More details are awaited.
Minister of Housing and Urban Affairs Hardeep Singh Puri has called for promoting new and innovative low-carbon technologies that ensure housing for all, service delivery and better mobility for all. He was addressing an event to mark the UN World Habitat Day 2021 today in New Delhi with the theme of accelerating urban action for a carbon-free world. Speaking on the economic and environmental imperatives for Indian cities, Mr. Puri said India's per capita emission of greenhouse gases is quite low as compared to other developed countries. In Uttar Pradesh, a local court ordered police custody of 3 days for Ashish Mishra, who is accused in Lakhimpur violence case. The violence claimed 8 lives on 3rd of October. Ashish Mishra was produced in a local court in Lakhimpur this afternoon. Court heard the arguments from both sides in the virtual hearing and accepted the request of police for 3 days custody. Ashish was in a judicial custody after his arrest on Saturday night. He was arrested on Saturday after day-long interrogation by the police as he was not cooperating during the interrogation and didn't answer few questions. Police questioned Ashish about the events that led to the violence. 2 other accused were also arrested by police in this case and now they are in judicial custody.
Telangana State Election Commission and the State IT Department have taken up a pilot project to test electronic voting in the limits of Khammam municipality limits on the 20th of this month. For the first time in the country, e-voting is being tested in Khammam. For this, electors have been urged to enroll themselves on the e-vote mobile app, which can be downloaded from the Google Play Store. Khammam Municipal Commissioner Adarsh Surpi has informed that registration of electors will continue till the 18th of this month and mock polling will be held through a dummy ballot on the 20th. He said electors can cast their vote through smartphones without going to polling stations, and this can be useful especially for Divyangs, senior citizens, officials on polling duty and others. After downloading the mobile app, one needs to register themselves with the help of the voter ID card, Aadhaar and other details and cast their vote with the help of OTP during the polling.
The registration for this app will be open from 8th to 18th October. A request to all the citizens of Khammam, any citizen who is enrolled as a voter can come forward and register themselves. After registration, the mock poll will take place on the 20th of October. The registration process is very simple. There are innovative videos and there are step-by-step guidelines that can be followed and immediately controlled by the user.
Secretary of Department of Investment and Public Asset Management DIPAM Tuhin Kanta Pandey today said that the department has issued a letter of intent to the successful bidder in the strategic disinvestment transaction of national carrier Air India. In a tweet, the secretary said share purchase agreement SPA will be signed soon. Last week, Tata Sons Group had won the bid for acquiring Air India. Tata Sons made a winning bid of 18,000 crore rupees.
The move of privatization of Air India has been greeted by Confederation of Indian Industry CII. The Director General of CII, Mr. Chandrajit Banerjee, in his reaction said that history was made on 8th of October with the privatization of Air India finally coming through. After more than 2 decades of efforts of central government, it is indeed a watershed moment for policy discourse on disinvestment and privatization. Union Minister of State Information and Broadcasting Dr. L. Murugan today visited All India Radio Srinagar and inaugurated recently renovated auditorium of the station. The auditorium had got inundated and severely damaged in 2014 floods. Addressing the audience present on the occasion, the Union Minister lauded both AIR and DDK Srinagar for playing their role in countering the propaganda initiated by the neighbouring country from across the border.
AIR Srinagar has been playing very important role since last several decades. On one hand, it has acted to provide quality broadcast services to the people of Kashmir. Considering the diverse nature of languages being spoken, regular programs in these languages like Kashmiri, Gujri also broadcasted. This rich culture of Kashmiri, its language, art and tradition have been given a widest possible canvas by our Doordarshan and All India Radio at Srinagar.
The nation is marching ahead towards the 100 crore mark of administering vaccination. India has administered over 95 crore 19 lakh doses of COVID vaccines so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Union Health Ministry said more than 46 lakh 57,000 vaccine doses were administered in the last 24 hours. The ministry said 21,563 COVID patients recovered during the last 24 hours and the national recovery rate has reached 98%. Till now, more than 3 crore 32 lakh people have recovered from COVID-19. The Competition Commission of India CCI has imposed a penalty upon 2 firms for bid rigging in tender floated by Gas Authority of India Limited GAIL. The 2 firms are PMP Infratech Private Limited and Rati Engineering.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi speaks to British counterpart Boris Johnson. Reviews progress of India-UK Agenda 2030. Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign is not just a vision but also a well-thought, well-planned, integrated economic strategy, says Prime Minister while launching Indian Space Association. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to participate in G20 Extraordinary Leaders Summit on Afghanistan in virtual format tomorrow. Power Ministry mandates electricity distribution companies to undertake energy accounting on periodic basis. 5 army soldiers, including a JCO, martyred in an encounter with terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir. 3 US-based economists win Economics Nobel Prize for work on natural experiments. And in IPL cricket, match is underway between Royal Challengers Bangalore and Kolkata Knight Riders at Sharjah Cricket Stadium. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे।
भारत के स्वतंत्रता संग्राम में अनगिनत स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों ने अपने प्राणों की आहुति दी, कुछ इतिहास में अमर हो गए और कई गुमनाम। आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के अंतर्गत 75 कड़ियों की श्रृंखला में हम उन वीरांगनाओं की बात करेंगे जिनका योगदान कभी भुलाया नहीं जा सकता। प्रत्येक मंगलवार परिक्रमा में सुनिए अपराजिता, देश की वीरांगनाओं को आकाशवाणी का सादर नमन।
Welcome back to the evening news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will participate in the G20 Extraordinary Leaders Summit on Afghanistan in virtual format tomorrow at the invitation of the Italian presidency of the G20. The External Affairs Ministry said the agenda of the meeting will include a discussion on response to humanitarian needs and access to basic services and livelihood, security and the fight against terrorism, mobility, migration and human rights will also be discussed. As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events is being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Let us now listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. India's glorious fight for freedom is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the valiant struggle every day.
In today's episode, we celebrate the life and struggle of freedom fighter and towering political leader Lok Nayak Jayaprakash Narayan, who was born on this day, 11th of October, in 1902.
Popularly referred to as JP, he accepted the way of non-violence for social reconstruction such as Bhudan and Gramdan and used non-violent revolution during emergency period of 1975 to 1977 to bring about Sampoorn Kranti, that is, total revolution to save democratic values.
वोट ले ले और उसको हम कह दें कि बस ये जनता की हुकूमत बन गई, लोगों की आज़ादी न हो, इसको सिविल लिबर्टीज कहते हैं, शहरी आज़ादियाँ वो लोगों की न हो तो चाहे बेसिक डेमोक्रेसी कह लीजिए, पार्लियामेंट्री डेमोक्रेसी कह लीजिए, सोशल डेमोक्रेसी कह लीजिए, पीपुल्स डेमोक्रेसी, वो सब नाम है.
During the freedom movement, Jayaprakash Narayan did not strongly believe in the philosophy of non-violence. He accepted the violent way of revolution for freedom movement and established Azad Dasta, which was a group of revolutionaries for freedom movement.
He believed that the discussion on violence and non-violence is meaningless and both are good in the reference of freedom movement. However, later he became an ardent Gandhian and devoted his life to non-violent revolution for social reconstruction, which is called Sarvodaya movement. The works of Jayaprakash Narayan, which were based on Gandhian philosophy, prove that Gandhian philosophy remains relevant in the present context. We salute JP's undying spirit of love and dedication for the nation.
We also remember freedom fighter and captain in the Indian National Army, Abbas Ali, who left us on 11th October 2014. Abbas Ali was born in Khurja, Bulandshahr district of Uttar Pradesh on 3rd of January 1920.
He belonged to a family of freedom fighters, and one of his grandfathers, Rustam Ali Khan, was hanged in Bulandshahr district in Uttar Pradesh after the First War of Indian Independence in 1857.
When Shahid-e-Azam Bhagat Singh was hanged on 23rd March 1931, Abbas Ali was just 11-year-old, but he participated in a protest march. He joined Naujawan Bharat Sabha, the organization founded by Bhagat and his colleagues, and later, while studying at Aligarh Muslim University, he became member of the All India Students' Federation and joined the British Indian Army in 1939 with the motive of revolt.
In 1945, when Subhash Chandra Bose called for revolt, he left the British Army and joined the Azad Hind Fauj.
Later, he fought with the British Army in Arakan, now Rakhine state of Myanmar, but when the Japanese surrendered before the Allied forces, Abbas Ali was also arrested along with 60,000 fellow soldiers of INA. He was put in Multan fort along with 3 of his colleagues, tried, court-martialed and awarded the death sentence in 1946. However, when India gained independence in 1947, he was released and became politically active.
Here is an excerpt of Captain Abbas Ali remembering the leadership of Subhash Chandra Bose during INA and British Army's fight in Arakan from an archived interview.
नेताजी की ये बात कि वो मुल्क के ऊपर सब कुछ कुर्बान बरसावा करने वाले आदमी जब भी आजादी हिंद फौज लड़ाई लड़ी हम अराकान में लड़े जहाँ हमने अंग्रेजों के एक डिवीजन को एनसर्कल करके 6 महीने तक हवाई जहाज से राशन अंग्रेज ने डाला.
Captain Abbas Ali died 7 years ago, but his spirit to serve the motherland will continue to inspire the future generations. We salute his love for the nation. That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
All India Radio News also brings to its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz is being conducted every Monday and Tuesday in Morning News. India Post has joined hands as a logistics partner with All India Radio News for the Amrit Mahotsav quiz. Listeners can send their responses to the question over WhatsApp on 8826546262 or through email on amritmahotsavquiz@prasarbharati.gov.in. The winner will be awarded an e-certificate and a token prize.
Veteran Malayalam film actor Nedumudi Venu passed away today in Thiruvananthapuram. He was 73. He was one of the finest actors of Malayalam film industry who acted in over 500 films. He won 2 national awards and a special jury mention during his career, in addition to 6 Kerala State Film Awards. The entire film industry and the public paid tribute to the actor. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the 28th National Human Rights Commission NHRC Foundation's Day program tomorrow via video conferencing. Home Minister Amit Shah and NHRC chairperson will also be present during the event. NHRC was set up under the Protection of Human Rights Act 1993 on 12th of October for the promotion and protection of human rights.
The celebrations of Durga Puja festival began in West Bengal this evening with religious fervour and gaiety. The festive spirit has captivated people across generations, and this time Kolkata is witnessing the celebration of women empowerment. A report from our correspondent.
Durga Puja, the occasion most Bengalis wait for, not only celebrates the win of good over evil, but also worships the power of Matri Shakti. Traditionally, the worshippers are male. The picture has been changing over the past few years. This year, Kolkata witnesses its first women priestesses who are conducting the Durga Puja, setting a precedence of women power. The team leader Nandini Bhomik spoke to AIR News.
We have come up with our own script based on all the Puranas which describe the Durga Puja in Bengal, the way it is traditionally done. We have incorporated a few songs in our Durga Puja rituals, which would be very entertaining. It would be good to hear and good to understand.
Nearly 400 pujas in Kolkata are being organized by women, though the number of women dhakis is comparatively less. A team of 4 women are seen playing the quintessential instrument at the puja conducted in a residential complex of Kolkata. Madhuparna Chaudhary for AIN News, Kolkata.
In IPL cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore were 114 for 5 in 17.2 overs against Kolkata Knight Riders in the eliminator match at Sharjah when reports last came in. Earlier, Royal Challengers won the toss and opted to bat.
3 US-based economists have won the 2021 Nobel Prize in the field of economics for pioneering the use of natural experiments to understand the causal effects of economic policy and other events. They are US-based Canadian David Card, Israeli-American Joshua Angrist and Dutch-American Guido Imbens. The Nobel Committee said in a statement that the researchers were honored for providing new insights about the labor market and showing what conclusions about cause and effect can be drawn from natural experiments. At the stock markets, key indices posted its record closing highs today, but the rupee fell to a 15-month low against the dollar. A report from the Business World.
Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange gained 77 points to end at an all-time high of 60,136 today. Nifty at the National Stock Exchange rose 51 points to a record high of 17,946. At the Forex market, rupees slipped 37 paise to a 15-month low of 75 rupees and 36 paise against the dollar. Gold fell 59 rupees to 46,038 rupees per 10 grams at Delhi's bullion market. And in the international market, Brent crude oil futures jumped $2.12 to trade at $84.51 a barrel. This is Lalema Aneja Dang for AIR News.
Today is the International Day of the Girl Child. In December 2011, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution to declare 11th October as the International Day of the Girl Child to recognize girls' rights and the unique challenges girls face around the world. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said that this year's International Day of the Girl Child is themed on bridging the gender-digital divide in the society. In a tweet, Mr. Naidu said, amid the ongoing COVID pandemic, let's make every effort to ensure girls get equal access to digital devices, tech-related skills and jobs, and an equal chance to grow. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will have mainly clear sky. The temperature will vary between 22 and 36 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have rain or thunder showers and it would occur towards evening or night. Minimum temperature will be 26 degrees Celsius while the maximum is expected to be around 33 degrees. Chennai is expected to have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The temperature will vary between 26 and 34 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have partly cloudy sky. The city will observe a minimum temperature of 27 degrees Celsius and a maximum of around 35 degrees. Srinagar will have partly cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between 9 and 23 degrees Celsius. Jammu will have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards evening or night. The minimum temperature will be 22 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 31 degrees. Leh will have partly cloudy sky. The minimum and maximum temperature will vary between 0 to 17 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have generally cloudy sky. Temperature will hover between 8 and 24 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will also have partly cloudy sky. The minimum temperature will be 16 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 30 degrees. Visakhapatnam will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The city will observe a minimum temperature of 27 degrees Celsius and a maximum of around 35 degrees. Bengaluru will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Temperature will hover between 21 and 28 degrees Celsius. Thiruvananthapuram will have generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature will be 23 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 32 degrees. And Guwahati will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of development of thunder lightning. The minimum temperature will be around 24 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 36 degrees. And now, before we close the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi speaks to British counterpart Boris Johnson, reviews progress of India-UK Agenda 2030. Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign is not just a vision but also a well-thought, well-planned, integrated economic strategy, says Prime Minister, while launching Indian Space Association. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to participate in G20 Extraordinary Leaders Summit on Afghanistan in virtual format tomorrow. Power Ministry mandates electricity distribution companies to undertake energy accounting on periodic basis. 5 army soldiers, including a JCO, martyred in an encounter with terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir. 3 US-based economists win Economics Nobel Prize for work on natural experiments. And in IPL cricket, match is underway between Royal Challengers Bangalore and Kolkata Knight Riders at Sharjah Cricket Stadium. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.